First bento is this chicken cut sandwich and potato cheese spring rolls bento. These small, cute potatoes I used to make crunchy spring rolls. Cut potatoes into thin slices to make them easier to cook. Do you like spring rolls? What do you like to put inside? Today's spring rolls are my favorite because they are relatively easy to prepare. Heat in microwave 6 minutes at 500 watt. Cook it in a pot if you want. Shred cabbage for sandwiches. Rinse well with water and drain thoroughly. Mash the potatoes. It was cut thinly and softened successfully. Sprinkle lightly with salt and pepper. Next, also heat up frozen edamame. I heated this amount for a minute and a half at 500 watt. Remove the beans from the pot. I want to add some carrot to the sandwich. Feel free to change the vegetables you add as you like. It was a little too long, so I cut it in half. Stir in salt and pepper and olive oil. Let it sit for a bit to wilt and make it easier to put in sandwiches. Make the main ingredients for today's sandwich. Use curry powder. Several people have mentioned in the comments before that this brand of S&B curry powder is available overseas. This is a very useful and wonderful powder and I hope many people will use it. Put sugar, miso paste, sake, salt and pepper. Mix well. And add chicken cut into bite-sized pieces. This is the chicken I had stored in the freezer, a mix of breast and thigh. Use any part of the chicken you like, and adjust the size of the chicken to fit the bread. Mix thoroughly so that the chicken meat soaks up the flavors. Let the flavors soak in while you make the spring rolls. Can you get spring roll wrapper at Asian grocery stores? Not related to the recipe, but I hear that unlike gyoza and shumai wrappers, spring roll wrappers can be eaten as is. Once the wrapper is removed piece by piece, prepare cheese and place the potatoes on top of it. You can mix the edamame with the potatoes in advance, but today I'll lay them out like this. By doing this, I thought the green color would be seen after frying and cute. When you roll it up like this, put water on the edges. Some people use water mixed with flour, but I always do it with water because I'm lazy. I hope I can fry it up good. Now it's time to make chicken katsu. Mix beaten eggs, flour, and a little water to make butter. Prepare panko. The chicken is soaked in a nice curry flavor and now wrapped in panko. Dip it in the butter first. I had made chicken katsu with a little bit of curry powder before, but I used a stronger curry flavor this time, and it was even better. Miso is important actually. Fry the chicken in oil. I think if you fry them for 3 minutes on each side, you should be fine. If you've made the chicken larger to fit the bread, fry it longer. If the chicken is large but slightly smashed and thinned, it will be easier to fry. Spring rolls can be made with a small amount of oil. I had some clean oil left over from another dish, which was perfect for frying spring rolls. Do not overheat the spring rolls as they burn easily, but check frequently and turn them over. A bit more oil might be nice, but glad to use up the leftover oil. When the color turns golden brown, it's done. The edamame are a bit hard to tell, but they are nice looking. Let's make sandwich. Spread mayonnaise. Put cabbage, carrot, cheese, and chicken. I prepared cherry tomatoes because I thought they would make a pretty cross-section. Put tonkatsu sauce. One more cheese, carrot, and cabbage. Wrap in plastic wrap to stabilize the shape. One thing I regret a little. Look forward to seeing the cut later. I had some broccoli left over, so I'll make a side dish soup first. I cooked them in microwave and drain off the water. Put dried bonito flakes, mustard, soy sauce, and honey. This seasoning was really delicious and I recommend it. I'm going to cut a sandwich. Amazingly satisfying result. My one regret is that I should have bought the smaller cherry tomatoes. The tomatoes were too big and the sandwich collapsed a bit in the bento box. But the taste is great, so I'll give it a try. Next one is mini sushi rolls and teriyaki chicken bento. Before making the main dish, I want to make side dish with this kabocha squash. Heat in microwave for 1 minute to soften just a little so that it's easier to cut. Cut it into bite-sized pieces. Put water in a fry pan or pot. Add mirin, sake, soy sauce, and sugar, a little salt. Bring to a boil and stir. Reduce heat to low and add kabocha squash. I arrived at this seasoning blend after several unsuccessful attempts. My husband, who dislikes the vegetables, said, "This is my favorite." Cover and cook until somewhat softened. Reduce the water by 2 tablespoons because the rice is mixed with sushi vinegar later. Cook rice in rice cooker as usual. When the cabbage is slightly softened, but not to the point of falling apart yet, turn it over. Allow the other side to soak up the flavor. From here, remove the lid and simmer until all the liquid is absorbed. It's best to cook them skin side down one last time, just before the liquid is completely gone. The hard skin becomes soft and tasty. Next, let's prepare chicken for teriyaki. My husband has been working hard on his strength training lately, so I decided to make it into breast meat. Cut into bite-sized pieces. Sprinkle with salt and pepper. And sprinkle with potato starch. It was a great success because I got a nice thin layer of potato starch on the surface. I thought it was a success, but it turned out to be a disaster after that. I tried to fry them in oil to make them crispy, but I got a ridiculous amount of oil splatter. The oil splatter is such that this tool is also rendered meaningless. So the breast meat has a lot of water. It doesn't get this bad with size, I think. I learned this time. I managed to get the chicken to cook through and decided to cook the rest of the chicken without oil. Just a little bit of oil was added. After cooking the chicken, once removed, make the sauce. Put sake, mirin, soy sauce, and sugar. Return the chicken and toss with the sauce. Coat it with potato starch so it mixes well with the sauce. When the rice is cooked, prepare the sushi vinegar. Put rice vinegar, sugar, and salt. Mix slightly, then warm to completely dissolve the sugar and salt. Once dissolved, stir in rice. Mix well to distribute the vinegar throughout. Add fried sesame here. It's optional, but this makes it very flavorful. The rice must be thoroughly cooled. In the meantime, prepare the ingredients for mini sushi rolls. First, make a rolled omelette. Add just a little bit of sugar. Or the pan. Make a long, skinny version for sushi rolls. It's perfectly acceptable to turn them into scrambled eggs. Make sure to cook it thoroughly. Cut cucumbers into long, thin stripes. Eggs should be about this fine. When making sushi rolls, this size nori is used, but today we will cut it in half. Spread the cooled rice thinly like this. Leave a small portion at the end of the roll that is not to be covered with rice. First one is cucumber sushi. This is very popular thin maki sushi in Japan called kappa maki. Wrap with plastic wrap to stabilize the shape. Next one is egg sushi. Since there are only a few ingredients, you can roll it up without any plastic wrap actually. But I need a wrap to stabilize the shape. Make the other 2 mini rolls, but do not put anything inside. Look forward to seeing how these turn out. By the way, I made 4 mini sushi rolls using 1 cup of rice. I used 2 seeds of nori seaweed. 150 grams of rice before cooking becomes about 330 grams after cooking. Prepare pickled plums, umeboshi, cheese, shiso, and spicy koro, mentaiko as toppings. Prepare your favorite ingredients. Salmon and tuna are also recommended. Cut everything into small pieces. I'll cut the sushi rolls now. Adjust the heat according to the size of the bento box. Pack any amount you like in your bento box. Toppings are added to sushi with nothing inside. Shiso and spicy koro. Bonito flakes with soy sauce. This is delicious on its own, but goes well with cheese. This is best with cream cheese though. This is nori seaweed boiled in soy. Nori seaweed tsukudani. Its very popular side dish matches with rice. The rich umami flavor of nori and sweet salty taste are the best. Put white sesame. This is pickled plum. Pack chicken and kabocha in your bento. And the teriyaki chicken is great with mayonnaise. The last one is Miso Tonkatsu Bento. Before making tonkatsu, let's make kiriboshi daikon. Kiriboshi daikon is dried strips of daikon, literally dry daikon. It has a unique and delicious texture. It's usually eaten as simmered dish. Place in water for 10 minutes to soften. While waiting, prepare other ingredients. Shred carrot and thin fried tofu. If you add fried tofu or chikuwa, boiled fish paste, it becomes very tasty. After draining the daikon well, place in a pan and stir fry. More nutrients can be obtained from kiriboshi daikon than from fresh daikon. This is because sun-drying concentrates umami and nutrients and increases the content of calcium, iron, and B vitamins. Carrots and fried tofu are also added. Normally, I would add oil, but I suddenly thought that I didn't need it because the oil would come out of the fried tofu. Fry a little and season. Put sake, mirin, soy sauce, sugar, a little salt, and dashi powder. Now all that is left is to fry until the cooking liquid is reduced. It can be stored in the fridge for a couple of days. Next, let's make rolled egg. Today we are going to add something to make it very flavorful. Add a little sugar as usual. Add crab sticks. It's easier later if you cut it like this. Today I'm adding this one along with crab sticks, aonori, dried green seaweed. The rolled egg turned out so good that I wondered why I hadn't made them sooner. Oil and pour about half of the egg liquid. Break up the crab sticks with chopsticks. Then you should spread it out evenly. It was completed in a nice way. Finally, it's time to make tonkatsu. I put away the knife, so I use scissors. Make a cut in the fatty part of the pork loin. Season with salt and pepper. And dust with flour. Make butter with flour, eggs, and water. Quantities are always by eyeball. I would suggest equal amounts of flour and eggs and about half the amount of water. Dip pork in butter and coat with panko. Fry in oil for 3 to 4 minutes on each side. What sauce do you like to eat tonkatsu with? Today, instead of tonkatsu sauce, we will make a rich and super tasty miso sauce. If you have a favorite sauce that goes well with tonkatsu, please let us know in the comments. For the sauce, I use 2 types of miso paste. This is regular one, made with rice koji. And this is the dark miso made with soybean koji. Any kind of miso can be used. Miso made with soybean koji makes a very authentic miso katsu. Put mirin and sugar. This dark miso tastes better with more sweet seasoning, but you may want to reduce the amount of mirin and sugar depending on your taste and types of your miso. Microwave for 30 to 40 seconds to help dissolve the miso. I'm going to run out of miso, so next time I'll buy new miso that I have never tried. Cut the rolled egg and tonkatsu. Serve with a little cabbage. Stuff with ingredients. By the way, make sure to put the rice in the bento box and let it cool in advance. This miso sauce can be used in stir fries or in fried rice too. I would be happy if you could make the main dishes and side dishes from this video.